We're going live a little bit later tonight than usual. I got some stuff we're going to talk about today. If y'all are already scrolling by, stop by, say what's up. Right now, I'm just getting the poll up. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'll be able to see chat in 1 second. One more second. I'm almost done. All right, that poll should be up now. What's going on, Godfather? How you doing? What's going on, Aiden? How you doing? Wild night at work, zero management. Man, that sucks. Hopefully, that doesn't make it harder on you tonight. Tonight, I printed out some stuff for us to talk about during the live stream. The updates just in general on the firearm community, events that's happening, legal stuff that's in the works that's already happened, stuff of that nature. I'm gonna let people get into the live stream a little bit before we start talking about all that. Shit. I guess y'all are in the live stream already, so let's go ahead and start talking about it. So we're gonna talk about legislative and legal updates that's happened in the past few weeks or so. So Tennessee passed a bill designated uh, the state as a firearm industry sanctuary, aiming to shield gun manufacturers from certain lawsuits, which is a big W. You gotta head out, head back out. Got hey, it's always like that. You have a good night and take it easy. Yes, sir. Got a topic sheet for the live stream tonight, y'all. I got two different little pamphlets I created. Germany weapon, Germany better weapons. Man, I like all firearms, so as long as it works. So so yeah, we're basically Tennessee became a firearm industry sanctuary. Um, Senator Markey and Representative Evans introduced Resources for Victims of Gun Violence Act, proposing a federal advisory council to assist gun violence survivors in assessing support services. Um, the NRA reported filing multiple lawsuits and immaculate briefs in April, continuing its legal advocacy on firearm related issues. Then for April 2025, we approximately sold 1.21 million guns were sold in the US as of April 2025 for the entire month, which was a 3.4% decrease from 2024 April. Popular firearms in April included the Glock 19, the SIG, P365, and the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield. Then we had some community and industry challenges in South Australia. Firearm businesses are facing significant delays in processing, leading to financial strain and inventory backlogs. Authorities plan to implement a new digital system to address these issues. So, that's just some basic stuff. In Memphis, the Guns to Gardens event allowed residents to surrender unwanted firearms, which were then transformed into garden tools and art pieces. You know, in my mind, they could have just kept their money. Upcoming events and conferences through late May to June 2025. We have competitive shooting events coming up all around the U.S. May 29th to June 1st, Washington State High Powered Rifle Championship. Then May 30th through June 1st, we have a Charlie Smart Memorial High Power Rifle Championship. Then May 31st to June 2nd, we have Camp Perry Long Range Warm Up Match. Then May 31st to June 1st, Virginia State Precision Pistol Championship. Hey, I've been trying to reach you regarding your car's extended warranty. Man, my car is actually warranted, so maybe we do got to talk about that. But May 21st, Firearm Violence Prevention Conference in Spokane, Washington, focusing on community resilience strategies. May 27th through the 30th, Society for Prevention of Research annual meeting in Seattle discussing public health approaches to firearm injury prevention. June 16th to 17th, Community Violence Intervention Conference in Los Angeles, hosted by the Guilford Center, bringing together experts to share insights on reducing community violence. What's going on, Wendy? Um, Looking ahead into June 25 and beyond, legislative developments ongoing discuss and potential legislative actions at both state and federal level concerning firearm related regulations and industry protections, um, community invaded natives, continued emphasis on community-based programs aimed at reducing gun violence and promoting safe firearm practices. You know, firearm safety is one of the first things people should learn before ever handling a firearm, whether it's good or bad intentions. And it's a tool at the end of the day. So then market trends monitoring, monitoring of firearm sales and ownership trends, especially in response to legislative changes in public sentiment. So we did just get FRTs, approved. Basically, they can no longer challenge it in the court of law. Um, to label it as a machine gun. So that is very good. Then the next thing I gotta talk about, it's pretty long and lengthy. It covers a lot of different stuff ongoing and um, that may have already happened. So this is the a second. This is an overview of supposedly what the firearm community wants and a bunch of stuff that's going on in the works right now. So Second Amendment policy platform, defending the right to keep and bear arms for all Americans. Legislative priorities, full repeal of the National Firearms Act of 1934 NFA, eliminate federal regulation and registration of suppressors, short-barreled rifles SBR, short-barreled shotguns SBSs, and machine guns, and taxation and transfer approval delays currently enforced through the NFA system. Then second would be repeal the Gun Control Act of 1968 (GCA), abolish federal licensing for firearm dealers and restrictions on inter- interstate firearm transfers, restore full firearm rights to law-abiding citizens currently classified as prohibited persons. Three, repeal the Hughes Amendment 1986, reopen civilian access to newly manufactured automatic firearms. Restore parity between military, police, and civilian access to arms as protected under the Second Amendment. Just picked up a CMG Descent MK47. That sounds awesome. I'm gonna have to look that up here in a second. So, that's kind of the goals here soon that we have laid out for just the stuff we need to get done. I guess I could say, especially with the full auto SBRs and SBSs and machine guns. That would be nice. Purchase firearms in Washington next year. That's bullshit, Aiden. Hopefully we can fix that. Not a one. What's going on? Fortune, how you doing? Hope you safe out there. This is the second section on this packet I created. Regulatory reform. Defend. So first it'd be defend, or defund, excuse me, or dismantle the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the ATF. Transfer remaining enforcement functions to more transparent and accountable agency, and in arbitrary rulemaking and um, rhetoric rhetoricative enforcement that undermines due process. Simplify or eliminate the Form 4473 system. Minimize or abolish federal record keeping of gun purchases. Yeah, Aiden, that is some bullshit. Oppose the creation of any de facto gun registry. Inter state firearm sales freedom. Remove the requirement for federally licensed dealers (FFLs) to facilitate privately out-of-state purchases. Promote parity with other constitutional rights that do not stop at state lines. Then we have constitutional and judicial goals. Enforce and expand the Bureau standards. Use New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin 2022 to challenge the overturn of all lacking all laws lacking historical tradition. Demands strict sanctuary for all firearm relate regulations. Challenge the constitutionality of the NFA, GCA, and related laws. Pursue judicial rulings affirming that modern weapons and accessories are protected under the Second Amendment. Seek a Supreme Court ruling declaring the NFA and GCA unconstitutional in whole or in part. So that would be a really good thing to see. Basically, all these bullshit rules and regulations would just poof away, sort of. Um, then we have cultural and educational objectives, I guess. Normalizing firearm ownership and carry, which I'm fully supportive of that. Counter stigma against gun owners through outreach and representation. Support firearm education programs. Offer voluntary firearm safety, marksmanship, and self-defense training in schools and community centers. Expand access to free subsidized training for first-time gun owners. Counter anti-gun media bias, develop content documentaries and media campaigns to truthfully represent the role of firearms in American life. That would be a very good thing, I feel like. Political and state level strategy. Promote constitutional carry nationwide. Ensure that every American can carry a firearm without a permit, openly or concealed. Implement uh, national reciprocity. I'm sorry, reciprocity. Um, Establish federal law requiring all states to honor other states' carry permits similar to the driver's license. And three, support Second Amendment sanctuary policies, encourage countries and states to refuse the cooperation with unconstitutional gun laws, pass laws at state level nullifying federal overreach. Five, and industry and market freedom. Defend gun manufacturers from legal attacks, strengthen and protect lawful commerce of in commerce. Yeah, I'm saying that wrong. in Arms Act (PLCAA) opposed efforts to bankrupt gun companies via ferocious lawsuits, restores civilian access to military arms and equipment, which I would love to see, which legally, constitutionally, we have the right to that. Recognize that the militia must be capable of bearing arms comparable to those used in modern armed forces. Legalize civilian ownership of suppressors, night vision, body armor, and standard issued firearms. Those are, I guess, that's for the states that have been dealing with all of that, bullshit. Then the final principle is the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. This is not a suggestion. It is a binding constitutional uh, guarantee. Every policy, law, regulation must begin and end with this truth. So, y'all, we're working really hard. We've been fighting nonstop to get suppressors, SRBs, SBSs off of the NFA list and for them to delete all of their, I guess, a registry of suppressors, SBRs, foregrips if you want it on a pistol, whatever you would, any NFA item, it is all needs to be erased and deleted. All of their paperwork on it, and I'm pretty sure everything's automated. So all you gotta do is delete the system. It'll delete everything in it, and that's all we want. Um, Next month we do have a hearing on the full auto case, which will 99% grant civilian use full auto for newly manufactured machine guns, and this would include Glock switches and auto sears. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate all the support too. If y'all would drop a like on the live stream, say what's up in the chat. I know y'all have just been listening to me rant about all this new stuff going on here in the future and all these changes that are happening drastically on a daily basis to the firearm community. Me personally, I would love to see civilian use full auto and suppressors. It definitely would, you know, make more people open and interested into purchasing these things, especially when they are already common use in America. There's no way around it. Legally, they need to stop fucking playing with us. What's good, Mason? I just went over a bunch of different stuff going on within the firearm community, lawsuits, laws that have been passed, made, and stuff of that nature. It definitely was a lot to talk about, which I could go over a few parts again. If y'all are new here, didn't hear what I just said or anything about that in the past 18 minutes, you feel free to scroll back into the live stream, rewatch it or whatever. But I'll probably go over a few key points and what I just talked about here in a little bit. But how are y'all doing? How's y'all's day going? How's y'all's night going? Did y'all have a great day? Good day? Hopefully it was amazing. I will say, the video for tomorrow, the long format video, will probably get pushed back a day. As 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 well as the P64 review today was a crazy day. I didn't get to do anything that I needed to get done, and yeah. But hopefully tomorrow's less crazy for me. Hell yeah, Mason, how are you liking it? I know you've been waiting on that for a while too. Like I said yesterday, me personally, I'm not purchasing anything at the moment. I am waiting to hear more about or hopefully get a good verdict on Full auto. Yeah, Mason. How much did you spend on it? I know uppers can, vary in price. 200 is not bad for an upper. Is it a complete upper? Mason, it sounds like you got a really good deal. At $200 side charge a complete upper, that's definitely a good deal. At least in my opinion. Yeah, Mason, just let me know how it is. Then when you say DCA is ass, man, teach his own. But I feel like, a big truth in the firearm community, whether people like to believe it or not, no matter how much money you're spending on an upper, a lower, a handgun, a rifle, a shotgun, as long as it shoots and functions, it's fine. It's a firearm. I'm glad that you are expressing your um, constitutional rights and protecting yourself and your loved ones and the people around you. It's especially in this crazy world we live in. It's definitely a good thing to have, an amazing right to have. I personally feel blessed to be able to protect myself on a daily basis, especially out here in Memphis, Tennessee. It gets crazy out here, and so what I was gonna say about people calling certain firearms ass, like everyone talks shit about high points, but I know someone who used to carry a high point every day, and that shit ran with no problems. But was it as heavy as a fucking brick? Yes. Did that shit weigh like 7, 8 pounds as a 9 millimeter handgun? Yes. Did he have to remove all the paint from the internals on the slide? Yes. Was it a pain in the ass to make work? It seems like it, but that can be said with anything. Um, especially those what is it, the P80 Glock builds, when people start doing those, start porting them, start doing all that fun stuff that people like to do. It gives the firearms problems and all kinds of other stuff where you have to start tinkering with internals to see what you need to have your firearm function right. And it's definitely, I feel like, it all depends on, I guess, the firearm you personally pick out at the store. You always get the chance to overlook any firearm you purchase before you purchase it, see if you want to pick out a different one. Let's say um, I'm going to buy a G3C, and I realize that the safety is um, non-functional, and I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to fix it myself. I don't want to have to send it to Taurus. I'm gonna say, yo, you have a different one. Let me get the other one. This one has a non-functional safety. It's defective. And that's just the truth. I know people that have had great experiences with Glock. I know people that have had shitty experiences with Glock. I know, and then that's with every other firearm company, whether it's Smith and Wesson, Ruger, Cole, Palmetto State Armory, Century Arms, and all these other firearm companies, brands, importers, there's always going to be something bad to say about them. Even in, like magazines, Pro Mag definitely has a bad rep, but it has a bad rep because a lot of people just hear, hey, I had a really shitty Pro Mag, um, and they don't get one. They don't try it out for themselves, and they just continue to talk shit based on what they heard. Keltec, nah, I don't have a Keltec. Honestly, the P15 is growing on you. Yeah, I've seen it. High point run fine, just heavy low capacity. Look terrible. Yeah. What's going on, Peytons? How you doing? Yeah, Mason. I do like a more slim double stack nine. Me personally, Dylan, I I do not respect Stig anymore. I do not respect them as a company for what they have done with the what is it, the P320. You know, so many people shot themselves, uh, and all you know, just the situation as a whole to me isn't something I can respect. Me personally, if I was a manufacturer, even if I manufactured 2 million handguns and I sold them all and they all had a defective trigger where everyone was getting shot, I'm gonna recall them all back and I'm gonna fix it. They have several different sizes. Yeah, I have seen them though. They look nice. The P365s. Yeah, just because of the situation with Sig, I personally probably won't get anything from them anytime soon. But me personally, I am like I said, I'm waiting on that full auto bill next month to see the suit to see if we get something that use full auto, which it's like a 99% chance we will, at least in certain states that will immediately adopt the civilian use full auto. And if we don't get it, we'll continue pushing, and I just will get the firearms that I want to get, not full auto. You have 3.6. Yeah, I've heard good things about the 2.26s. I haven't heard much about them, but I haven't heard bad things. But if we do get civilian use full auto, I will be purchasing a VZ61 Scorpion full auto and a Glock if it becomes civilian use. Vintage, you the oldest person in here calling me that shit crazy. That man's a real deal Vintage just unlocks super chats and all that fun stuff. So that's awesome. The Mac 11. If the world went to shit, you can go with your Beretta 92. I don't know what I would use, but it definitely wouldn't be just one firearm. He said, "Wait, let me change it to just a rock." Hey, just a rock's fine, man. Can do a lot of damage with just a rock. Yeah, the whirlwinds and shit. I'd probably carry three firearms. MP5, a good solid handgun. Probably wouldn't be the G3C, unless I'm up close and personal. I'd want something that's really meant to shoot out more than 50 yards. Yes, sir. I'd have mule kick. I'd have quick revive, speed caller. I'd have jug. I'd have all the perks. How's it going, man? It's going great. 2A. How you doing? Dylan, if that's how you feel, please tell me the name of everything on the table. Hey, that's great, 2A. I'm glad to hear that. Man, I watched that video you posted. It was a great video for real. Definitely enjoyed watching it. It was very entertaining, man. I can't lie. You definitely, you know, my long format videos are not like yours. The quality is, completely different. I'm not gonna lie, and you definitely deserve a lot more notice for the videos you're making. I feel like a lot of us do. I really do fuck with your content for real. What you got cooking next is my question. My favorite, well, from what I have posted, probably the MP5. He says Stone to Unk, bro. That's just crazy vintage. Like y'all don't understand how old vintage is. He was there when the seas were split. He was the guy holding the stone tablets. Vintage watched human evolution. That man was there when the first fish took steps on the land. He was there with me. Nah, I wasn't. Try to finish your retro build. Hell yeah. Me personally, I've kind of put a halt on the purchasing things because of all the stuff going in effect. I guess I'll go ahead and go over a brief overview of what is going on in the firearm world right now. So Tennessee passed a bill um, designating the state as a firearm industry sanctuary. That's great news for people here in the state of Tennessee. Um, Firearm sales and market trends: approximately 1.21 million guns were sold in the U.S. in April 2025, but it was a 3.4 decrease compared to April in 2024. There's a lot of events going on. Um, there is for this month and early June. We have the Washington State High Power Rifle Championship, the Charlie Smart Memorial High Power Rifle Championship, Camp Perry Long Range Warm Up Match, Virginia State Precision's Pistol Championship. But those are all between May 29th and June 2nd. And then there's a few conferences going on, um, stuff of that nature. Let me find other sheets. I typed out a bunch of stuff for this live stream, y'all. This took a minute to do. So the goals right now, currently, that we are trying to push forward, and we have been pushing extremely hard towards these goals, is full repeal of the National Firearm Act of 1934, the NFA, eliminate federal regulation and registration of suppressors, short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns, and machine guns. So, that's the Hearing Act. I can't remember what the one for is, what it's specifically called for SBRs and SBSs, but I do know the machine gun um, decision, excuse me, this decision, whether it'll be for just that district in Kansas where the suit was filed and he won. Of course, he was at a federal level, made it a federal case because it was machine guns. Um, so we will be having a final hearing on that next month. I think it's either the 6th or the 16th. I can't quite recall, but sometime during that month, we will either hear really good news or really bad news, but it's 99% going to be good news. And if it is just for that district, which would I feel like would be the bad news, is I'm moving to Kansas. Um, but they're doing stuff like so another thing they're trying to do is defund and dismantle the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the ATF, transfer remaining enforcement functions to a more transparent and accountable agency, and arbitrary rulemaking and um, retroactive enforcement that undermines due process, simplify or eliminate the Form 4473 system, minimize or abolish federal record keeping of gun purchase, um, oppose the creation of any de facto gun registry, interstate firearm sales freedom, remove the requirement for federally licensed dealers (FFLs) to facilitate private out of state purchases, promote um, parity with other constitutional rights that do not stop at state lines, enforce and extend Bureau standards, challenge the constitutionality of NFA, GCA, and regulated laws, produ- per, per, pursued ju- judicial rulings affirming that modern weapons and accessories are protected under the Second Amendment. So, there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and it's looking good. It's looking good for us. We just won FRTs, and that makes me feel like, there's hope. They try to pull the bullshit with pistol braces a while back, but we're good there. Um, then, like I said, they just pulled the FRTs and tried to do something with that, but we won. Is that a Walter PPK? It is not. Mr. Mike, appreciate you stopping by. Coexist, how you doing? Appreciate you stopping back by. Pretty sure I've seen you here before. But yeah, we definitely do have a lot of pro guns stuff going on in the courts, and then overall, which is a very good thing in my opinion. Yes, sir. Coexist. How am I? I'm doing great. How are you doing? Just chilling tonight. No Zens? Nah. That's I tried one time because my girl wanted to quit vaping. Mm-mm. I could not do a Zen. That ain't for me. And I'll say that happily. Yeah. What milligrams were they coming again? Like I'm not big on that, but the ones we did get were I think the highest. And they were the spearmint flavor, whatever it is. Man, my day's been good. It's been way too much. Didn't get anything I wanted to get done, but we're here. We're alive, so we're good. Hopefully, y'all had a great day. The video schedule is getting pushed back though. Yeah, I guess it was the sixth. Then, hey, what's going on, Matt? Yes, sir. Anything firearm related? This is an opinion-based channel, so if you feel like that Taurus right there is some dog shit, you're more than welcome to talk about it. You did 16. See, a long time ago, I used to run box mods. Y'all can hate on me if y'all want, but this dude came around with a RDA. If y'all know what that is, if you don't, it's fine. But the juice he had in it was 50 mg, and you know, back then I was smoking box mods all day, every day, and I hit that, and I felt drunk. Thoughts on Glock 30 for CCW? I think you don't need a CCW. Here in the state of Tennessee, we have permanent carry. Yeah, I probably really just couldn't, the taste for me is too much. Hell yeah, coexist. Well, Matt, well, it's situational. I feel like carrying is very situational depending on where you live, what you would most likely need, and what situation would be most likely to happen. If you're in a more rural area or a smaller city or town and you're carrying something with 10 rounds, it's 45, I feel like it's fine as long as you have a spare mag or two. Usually, even if I'm carrying my Taurus, or which that is my everyday carry, I carry up to 60 rounds at the least. Yes, sir. Super Blaze. There is a Intratech Tech 22 Scorpion. There's a Taurus G3C FDE. There is a P64 that is a Polish Makarov 9x18. Um, there is an MPA 30T. There is a AP5P MP5 clone, and there is a Heritage right there as well. Mexico, Mexico be going crazy. There'd be all those car videos filmed in Mexico. Yeah, man. Like I said, I would just carry spare mags. If you want to go at 45, that's your choice. You know, I don't. I wouldn't say there's anything wrong with it, but I personally go with nine because of how much I can have. Hey, baby, coming to sit out here. I do not. Where's that? I do not. Maybe in the bathroom. Okay, I didn't see it in there. I remember the last place I had it, but I don't remember. Do you want to take my vape? Can you bring me some? You want to read this? No. I don't think you are interested in this legislative bullshit. I finished my little test, and it was just like told me like what the job is gonna be like, and it gave me a personality test, and I lied to every question. It was like questions like, which one do you agree with more? And it would be like, I do task at work, or I do more. I would say I do more, and I stay late every day. Yeah, that's good, baby. In the state of Tennessee, you do not need a CCW for open or concealed. It comes from it, it comes a lot from capacity. My boys argue that because nominally it's the same size and can carry 12 or 17, myself I only carrying one spare 10 round. Um, I mean, you are limiting your rounds if you're only carrying one spare mag. That's why I would say carry at least 2 to 3 spare mags. And Stay safe. Can't afford anything bigger than nine. I guess, man. I guess this is all I have.
What does this mean? Restore full firearm rights to law abiding citizens classified as prohibited persons.
That means felons, any
Well,
nonviolent offenders.
if they're felons, they're not law-abiding citizens.
It doesn't matter. It's nonviolent offenders. So
Well, that's not what that says. So
that's what prohibited.
I was wondering.
Well, that's what it means. It's not as in depth as that needs to be. I guess in that section of what I'm writing about. But what matters is this.
I hated that.
I'm sorry, this. So this is what's currently going on right now, baby. Eliminate federal regulation and registration of suppressors, short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns, and machine guns.
You know how often a child gets shot in Memphis? Just talking about children. You know how often? Every other day. Well, like on
Why are
average,
you
it would
talking
be
about
every other
children?
day, but sometimes it's back to back. I'm just saying that all these legislations and the rules we have are written in blood. I mean, I agree with like
Baby,
some
it's
of
a
it,
lot
but
deeper than just random people getting shot.
it's not random people.
So what they're doing right now is they're not they're not allowing us to have what is legally allowed constitutionally. Um, and the people that do have these items illegally and are committing these horrible crimes, whether it's just like you said, a bystander to a any activity, I feel like not saying on YouTube, um, that's it's sad and um, you should read this legislative and legal updates. That way you can feel better about that. But when you allow the people to own firearms, there's going to be, you know, there's definitely going to be odd ones, whether it's firearms or knives, like we see in the UK. There's people getting stabbed on a daily basis in the UK, but
It's not the same thing
how is it not the same thing?
because like you could kill a lot more people with a gun than you can with a knife.
Baby, anyone who goes on a crazy rant to go murder a whole bunch of people, you're crazy.
Yeah,
That's just the truth. Anyone who does anything I don't want to speak about on YouTube related to firearms,
I mean, the problem is like most of the people who commit crimes like that aren't crazy, and like well, some people like when they do, they are crazy, and they get like an insanity plea, but most of them are not. Like I could just like get really mad and snap one day and do something bad, but it doesn't mean I'm crazy. It would just mean
Well, when you allow the citizens to carry firearms, if anyone around here was to do something like that, you would be immediately discharged, as in, uh, that'd be it. In other countries, people carry open carry, full auto ARs and stuff of that nature. Just recently, um, this I saw a video of a mother getting attacked, and a civilian with a full auto AR-15 was able to stop the incident from happening and lights out the attacker as a bystander to the incident. So when you allow civilians to have these things, there are most likely going to be a rise in crime. There's most likely going to be some incidents that unfold, but it'll die down, and eventually you'll start seeing a lot more cases of civilians like you do in Texas, all over the U.S., of bystanders protecting people in those situations, whether they're unarmed or not.
Sure.
Let's say some crazy kid goes to one of these schools out here in Memphis. These
They're not
schools
crazy.
out here are protected by sheriffs who carry firearms, protected by police who are stationed there on a daily basis. Not just because of that aspect, because Memphis is Memphis. And because they are there, they would be the first people to stop an incident from happening, which, them being allowed to carry firearms. If you allow teachers to undergo a mental check and all that stuff. And that's why I feel like they would need this mental check because teachers have to
What
go
the
through
fuck
the
are you
most.
talking
If
about?
they
No
were
teacher
able,
wants to
if
carry a
that's
firearm.
not true, I'm pretty sure in Texas teachers carry firearms. There's somewhere they do. Someone in the chat will definitely be able to tell me exactly what state and what school
Logan,
districts carry firearms.
ever met someone that's a teacher?
Yes, I have. You just said my government name.
Teachers don't want to carry firearms. They just want to teach.
No kindergarten teacher wants to carry a firearm, but there's definitely been incidents in the U.S. where if these people did carry firearms, those incidents wouldn't have happened. And not only yes, sir. Mental health issues is definitely an issue in the U.S. And it is what it is. Teachers carry in New Mexico. It's common out there. Sounds about right. There's definitely a lot of places that carry, and I definitely, my opinion on it is teachers should undergo a mental health check and go through courses in those scenarios with you know being able to be at least trained in those types of scenarios where anything horrific were to happen. And another thing to add on to what I said to her is these things like if we get civilian use newly manufactured machine guns, SBRs become a non-FA item, stuff of that nature. We get suppressors off the list. People who legally buy these things, 99% of the time, aren't buying it. to sell it. They are buying it for themselves, for their hearing protection, for their home, whatever the case may be. It is definitely protected. So if um we have these constitutional rights that have always been embedded um in the US since the Constitution was founded. Um it's only became I think this has only become a problem in the early 1930s, I think, where we've started doing these things. Or not we, um the government or the ATF, any of those organizations, you know, they've been infringing on our rights, making it seem like it's less common than it is. Everyone in Memphis carries a firearm. Everyone does. But if you're in a stolen car, and you got a Glock with switches, it's a stolen firearm with all this other stuff, you're gonna go to jail. But it's most definitely important to protect the one life you get. We live in a crazy country and a crazy world full of crazy people. Me personally, I'm going to protect what's mine and the people around me. Give me 1 second. I'm going to grab some water real quick. All right, I'm back. Most definitely, I have a A1 gram. It's a precursor to the M1, and it's pretty fun. I definitely want to do a review video on it, and you know, um, one thing I want to bring up. She said, you know, something about innocent bystanders, because we're going to talk about the city of Memphis for a little bit and the crime, death, and all of that. Trying to find. So 2 days ago, man accused of barging in a Memphis restaurant with a gun to attack ex on Mother's Day. Um, if you're sitting in this restaurant and you see this, you have a choice whether to defend everyone in that restaurant or not. Man arrested after driving a gun during fight at high school graduation, NPD says. April 25th, 2025. Two students, you know, that's it for them in a South Memphis shooting. Child injured in shooting. Saturday night. This was on April 14th, 2025. Huh. Four kids shot along with their father in Memphis road rage. This is June 14th, 2024. The little child that was, you know, hurt. News says it's recovering. He or she's recovering, which is very good. And you know, there is a lot of, like I said earlier, there's things going on right now to help these victims of these violent crimes as well. Not last week, but the week before, I think we had a total of 36 shootings and 15 deaths that occurred from those shootings. So here's the dates and times. April 18th, 9:15 p.m. Shelby Drive, Lamar Avenue at 10:58 on April 18th at 11:45 p.m. 8th Street, Alpha Street, I don't know. 19th at 9:28 a.m. Genesis Circle, blah blah blah. And this is definitely a big list, but like you know, But I'm gonna reach out in a second. But another thing she said, she was talking about like children. So I would say as someone growing up in Memphis, one thing I have seen and do know is people. Memphis is Memphis. That kind of lifestyle was always portrayed here to the youth, whether people want to say it's not or is. Um, and the youth aren't stupid. People do dumb stuff and make stupid decisions, but the reason we have a crazy amount of youth doing or juveniles doing these acts is because they think that they won't get charged with, you know, as an adult, but they will. It will carry on. And they will spend the rest of their lives there. And if we start making these laws more known, I feel like a lot of these young kids who want to portray that lifestyle and who are doing these crimes to each other and with each other, you know, maybe they would step back and say, you know, why would I want to spend the rest of my life in jail for this, you know? And I feel like if we make these consequences more known to the youth, which they are poorly educated on, and another reason um, uh, that they make those decisions. Let me read up on chat. I've been going off. I took the 22 all day. Yeah, I feel that. Why the fuck is 55 minutes? Not interface. Hey, Ian, I feel that is that a G? It's a G3C. Also, I agree with you. I stay in something. Yes, sir. It most definitely does. Take a strong moral compass to defend innocent people. Oh yeah, I saw that. The dude got shot by his dog. So they're gonna fun survive. Why sell guns if you can afford to just buy right, Ian? It is the Taurus G3C. Mr. Cooper, I feel like you should get one. If you got the money like that, you can just go get one. Then you can have your own true opinion on it. Because whether you watch a video on something or ask someone that's had something maybe one time and that one person had a bad experience with it and might have not known what to do with it or handle the issues they were having because whether you get a Taurus Glock, a Sig, like I said earlier, any firearm company, brand, importer, manufacturer, they're all going to have some issues at the end of the day. Whether it's uh, 1 out of 100 chance or 1 out of 3,000 of a chance, you might still get, a problematic firearm. And like I said before, that is another reason you are able to, look over your purchase before purchasing. Whether um, it's in store or online is a different story. But if you're just purchasing, let's say a Taurus G3C, something that's readily available and in stock and to keep multiple of. Let's say you pick one up and it has defective safety. Um, you can say, I want a different one. Most definitely. I grew up shooting and I've always known it's not a toy. Yeah, me and the girl is okay. She texted me sorry, she's got her own opinions and you know, if I could, you know, have a conversation about something and her, hear my part, it'd be different. But she feels very strongly for those innocent people. And there's nothing wrong with it. Me personally, Ian, I grew up, um, I shot, I started on BB guns when I was like 6, went to pellet, then got my first firearm at 8. It was gifted to me when I was of age. It was just there. I was able to shoot it. Um, and it's something I've always done, and I personally never had an issue with. I try to be a nice person, so me personally, I wouldn't want to do nothing to someone that I wouldn't want done to me. Try to be a good guy at least. And I've never, you know, had intentions like that, ever thought about intentions like that. And I personally don't understand why people would. I understand, society can, be a bitch at the end of the day. And it is what it is. But doing like those heinous acts, those horrible, horrible things that people do, um, there's something wrong with them. Most definitely. Yeah, I love my Taurus. Taurus Ultralight or something. ATV9 or Max 9. Yeah, my favorite pistol on the day is a PX4 Stormfall. I've heard good things about the P365 too. Honestly, G3C is your everyday carry. See, same here. You got the 40 cal, that's nice. PX4 is a solid design, most definitely. And another reason I prefer to carry Taurus is because I do you know, work in nicer areas in Memphis where you know people like to portray that a lot of the crime happens in these better areas of Memphis, but majority of you know theft of that nature, robberies, happens in areas where the money is gonna be. Most definitely, and I feel that. Yeah, it's definitely a nice choice for concealment, the G3C. How many guns do I got in total? I can't count that high. I'm joking. There's a lot, and I wouldn't name them, but I'm slowly bringing older stuff out. Hell yeah. And that'll be fine. Hey, Ian, you know, don't be mad at me. I told you I'm gonna bring the. I've told y'all two of them, the AR Roof Kit build and the A1 Grand. I'm not gonna tell y'all anything else. It's gonna be a surprise. Yeah. What I'll do is before I do a review video, I'll post a short on it, do like a little to showcase the firearm or rifle, handgun, whatever it might be, and of course it'll be on the live stream. Yeah, officers out there, yes sir. And I'll tell you what, man, I've been in Bartlett before, and I've had definitely crazy experiences with crazy people in Bartlett. Even I think there's like a Kroger next to like their police station or something. I was over there before and had a very crazy experience. Um, but you know, going out there, there's always a chance of something bad happening, no matter where you're at. Been looking at mechanics. My experience, I shot one once. I haven't on one. I will say, from what I've heard and seen, is they shoot flat. They're reliable. They look nice, but I have heard bad things about the finish on them. Turkish striker fire. Yeah. Have I shot a binary? Shot full auto. Right now. I'm at a halt on any decisions retaining my MP5 build, uh, stuff of that nature. The VZ61 I do want to pick up. Um, it all depends on this full auto case. Yeah, Mr. Cooper, I've heard that a lot. Yeah, I hear that. The MP5 is nine. Yeah, just go bump fire or something. It'll definitely be up to par somewhat, depending on what you're bump firing. Hell yeah, Mr. Cooper. Yeah, you can get those bump fire rates up really high. I don't know if y'all hear this bike coming by. I talked to about what you said earlier. So I looked at all those 36 shootings. Two of them, or no, three of them involved minors. So there was.
I mean, that was just on one given week.
Yeah, I know. So there was a very young innocent child bystander who was injured, but she is good in recovery. He or she is good at recovering. Um, that's what I read. Pulled up already, look at it. And the other two incidents involving minor were someone at a high school dropped a firearm, a dad and his sons got into a road rage incident, and they all basically, did whatever they did. And
I remember that.
then a 16-year-old, you know, got a 15-year-old off the map. And so the reason we have a lot of these youth, or at least in my opinion, these youth incidences, is because, like you said, firearms to youth, depending on who their parents are, they might be less responsible than most people and might have easily access to them. But also in Memphis, anyone can go get a gun that has already got bodies on it, that's already stolen. Once a gun gets stolen, anyone can get it.
And you know what would prevent that? And do you know that
It's still carry.
no,
Yes.
the exact opposite of what was on this?
What would prevent that from people stealing firearms and still carry? And don't leave it in the car at night. People go car hopping. That's another reason a lot of people find firearms in Memphis. I've seen so many videos here in Memphis where people will be hip carrying with a holster and it gets snatched, whether it's police officers or civilians. But what I was going to say, these children who are doing these crimes towards other children and doing all that other stuff as children, anyone under the age of 18, um, they are not aware or think they will get caught doing what they're doing. I will say Memphis has a
And
hard
you
time
know what
catching
would fix
people.
that? And you know what would prevent that?
If
More
if
regulation.
these children understood the consequences of their
Well, they
actions.
doubt their children. That's the whole
Exactly.
thing. That's the whole point of
That's the
making it.
problem. And when a bunch of children have children,
I just feel like, as someone who's a firearm enthusiast, and if you respect them, I feel like what you would want is like to make it safer. Because I don't think that anyone really gives a fuck about the Constitution, to be honest. Like, our country has been around for like, I don't know, it's been some time, but like China and all them countries that's been around for like 1,000 years, you know how many times they've had to rewrite their constitution? Like, the people that wrote the constitution was wearing like bust down powder wigs, like,
okay,
and like some little tights and shit with those little shoes.
okay. So you ready? Our constitutional amendments carries and covers firearms in more than one amendment. I think it is three or four of them. Do not quote me on them. You're more than welcome to look it up and read it. Um, we have the right to protect ourselves against a tyrant um, government or military or whatever the case may be. We have the right to fix it as we see. We are our line of defense, the people. We are a military for militia as a whole. We have the right to
I
protect
feel like what
innocent
I said
people.
just went right over your head though.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. When you are given the right to protect yourself, the ones you love, and stuff of that nature, and you are legally allowed to own and possess firearms and carry them, there will be people who do bad things. There's always been people who do bad things, whether firearms existed or not.
So we should make it easier for them.
It wouldn't be easier. Taking suppressor, so a suppressor doesn't make a firearm more deadly or lethal, neither does full auto, binary, FRTs, or super safeties, or anything of that nature that would make anything different from, I guess, a semi-automatic, which you would perceive as semi-automatic.
I don't know what all that shit means. I just know the guns that you go boo 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 boo. Like,
Say,
you're a plumber. You don't need that shit, to be honest.
I don't want to continue doing something. I just stop.
I mean, anything you would do,
Stop
you don't
talking
need
about
that
my
shit.
personal life, please.
Well, I'm just saying. why are you more like concerned about like the boop 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 guns than the kids dying? What?
Do you not understand what I said?
I do understand what you said.
Can I have the vape juice? What did I say then?
You said that our constitutional amendments protect um, the right to have firearms, and that you think people are gonna always do bad things, so you just think that we should make it easier for them.
How would it make it easier?
The all that shit you printed out about the gun laws, like getting more relaxed, and like people who were, let me find it. So the law-abiding citizens classified as or prohibited persons. I'm just assuming that's people who like
That means anyone who's a felon who hasn't committed murder,
Logan.
sexual assault,
That
or
makes no
assault.
sense. Like
That's
it
what
says,
that is a brief.
law-abiding citizens. Like if you're a felon, you were not a law-abiding citizen.
Jail is meant to reform. That's what they
No, the
perceive it
fuck it's
as.
not.
It it, it doesn't matter. That is what's constitutionally allowed. At least I'm pretty sure it doesn't even matter if they are a felon constitutionally whether they did these acts or not. And honestly, my opinion on it is that people who do that stuff, these whoever is um, responding to that call, whether it's a police officer, SWAT, whatever it may be, there should be no you know, letting that individual continue on. At least in my opinion, I feel like it should be a done then there situation. And guns are definitely just a tool. They're used for hunting, they're used for home protection, and so much more. And if I want, I can hammer in a nail with a gun. It's literally a tool.
I mean, it's not though.
It is.
I just think you should think about
Look, my opinion on it is if here in Memphis, if we deregulate suppressors, make them off the NFA list, I feel like there will be a crime um, rate rise. But
and you think
that
that's what we
also,
need?
also, if you actually look at it, crime rates in Memphis go up 200% in summer. That's because of kids. You can look that up.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
Like kids are the people who like should
So
be
you think
protected
you
the
think
most.
you think a little kid should have a full auto Glock, but I shouldn't. I shouldn't be legally allowed to have
I
one.
don't think either of you dumbasses should have it.
Um, we are a military. We have the legal right to
Ain't no fucking
military.
military.
Kristen, United States people legally, constitutionally have the right to military grade equipment and weaponry. That whether it's a tank, a fighter jet, mortars, landmines, C4, claymores, if I want a um anything I want.
I mean, just because you
If
think
I
it's
wanted a B-2 or whatever called bomber, I could have it legally. I'm legally allowed to have it. It's constitutionally allowed to be mine.
to leave on that note.
Can I have the vape juice now? Yes, we are by definition a military. Thank you. Yes, it does. yes, what's going on is police are scared as fuck. Like real talk, they're shaky. Like when it comes to dealing with stuff of that nature, they're shaky, and that's is what it is. They don't want to deal with it. But what they're doing is restricting the law-abiding citizens from having the same stuff. No, gun control doesn't solve shit. If you strip away my rights, come take my shit, I'm defenseless against a criminal, against someone who is trying to commit these acts. They're trying exactly. More anxious around cats and claws. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Sorry, I had to go find this vape juice. What's going on, y'all? I'm back. Appreciate y'all waiting on me. Chilling. Our own government can't even bother to update NICS. I think that R28 is one of the main problems is money. Money causes greed. Like I don't know if y'all seen those like monkey want banana, monkey borrow banana, monkey pay back banana, monkey get bigger banana borrow limit, monkey cannot pay back banana, monkey and banana debt. You feel me? Uh, and that's just like it's just greed. So when those monkeys or us see I guess monkey is a bad term, but people, let's say, see someone with a lot of money, that greed and wants, you know, start to, kick in. Those greeds and wants make people, steal. Monkeys like us. Look, I ain't mean to say it like that. I figure y'all take that like that, but I was referring to the video of the dudes been making on TikTok. The little, what's it called? Basically a simple form of saying how money works. Most definitely, most definitely, Mr. Cooper. Is says you're 100% told to see your wife check yourself. Oh no! She got said that shit real bad. But like I was saying, like at the end of the day, people who want suppressors for home safety to train with, just to have, aren't the people who are going out there and committing these crimes. Whether um, you want to say it's more readily available um, or not, I'm not gonna speak on building stuff because YouTube would get mad, but people are you know creative. Yeah, that's funny. Most definitely, Ian. Thank you, Mr. Cooper. When kids have kids, I'm pretty sure you lose uh, basic society skills within 7 generations. Go ahead, Ian. Most definitely, yeah. Another thing about society, whether we have firearms or not, whether we create weapons, as a species, as a the human race, for us to, our lives are meaningful to us as an individual. But in the grand scheme of things, we could get hit by an asteroid tomorrow. We never know what could happen, and that'd be it. You know, what I would like to see humanity do is to be able to actually um, work together. Like when a ant hill gets destroyed, the colony fixes it in a day. Why can't we do that for this one planet we have? Or um, you know, actually like work as a society to make ourselves smarter, become a space bearing species where we're in a interplanetary species or stuff of that nature, where if one of our spots does get messed up, we'll still be alive. Our history will still be there. Our species will still be there. And without us coming together and working together, that won't happen. What's with all the guns? I like them. Most definitely. Like we haven't, you know, raised them to think about those consequences. I think greed and is too subjective opens a can of worms in which we're all putting standards on what others should have before they said it to be greedy. Most definitely. Hey, that's a nice setup, Victor. Most definitely, Cooper. And yeah, you definitely need. I think the standard is 120 per person in the U.S. But what was I finna say? Like I said, money controls the world. Money, money causes wars. Like as someone who owns firearms, like I genuinely care about people and like other people's opinions on firearms, whether or just in general. I try to respect everyone as I want to be respected, and everyone has their own beliefs and opinions at the end of the day, and no matter how much you restrict it, all you're doing is making it easier to get away with stuff. Most definitely, Mr. Cooper. A lot of people do have that God complex you're talking about. Sydney, I promise you, most of the people in here are parents. I know a lot of people are older that watch my streams. Grandparents, we have parents, aunts, and uncles. Hey, that's awesome. A pet snake and two dogs. That's awesome. I could use that same statement for anything, Sydney. I could say it makes you extremely unresponsible to drive a motor vehicle on a daily basis because you have a 1 in 4,000 chance of being in a car accident, and that could end your life. I could say it's irresponsible for um, for someone to eat food off the floor, but they're gonna do it anyway. You know, I could say it's irresponsible to go 5 miles over the speed limit. Everyone does it. I would say it's irresponsible to purchase things that you want instead of your needs. And getting those wants may be irresponsible. People are still going to do them and get them. Murder is completely different than owning a firearm. When in other countries, civilians are allowed to carry full auto ARs, whatever they would want, there's been plenty of incidents where these civilians have saved the lives of unexpected people from these people. The world is a very violent place. Humans are violent by nature. That's just something that has always been embedded in us throughout history. And I'm using the term violent as a very vague term. Word violent, excuse me. You most definitely can use your car as a weapon. You can use a toothbrush, a stick. You can use rock. Pretty sure like the rock is an option on the YouTube poll. Like you can use literally anything. Pretty sure what takes 5 pounds of pressure to you know one no shot. That's hit. Like YouTube, please don't ban me. But you know what I'm saying? If you live, I feel like it's always safe to have a home firearm. Yeah, and if you're uncomfortable, there's plenty of videos out there, instructors, lessons you can take. You don't trust girls with guns. Yeah, it's definitely sketchy. Most definitely suit. Yeah, that's just crazy. I'm living in sick of city. G45 MOS is definitely nice. Most definitely suit. Ugh, that's scary, Mr. Cooper. Even if it's allegedly fixed. That's the truth. Most definitely. Think about all the wood chipper incidents. Those aren't regulated. All the machining jobs, everything like that. There's definitely safety protocols. They're not regulated items though. Most definitely, yeah. I'll be right back. Let me refill my water. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to handle my responsibility. Guess it's back. Yeah, it couldn't. Can't break into my house. There's no house to break into. Yeah. Old guns are regulated in a way. What do you mean by that, Sydney? Sydney, if you are a felon and you have not got your rights fixed or went through the court process to get your firearm rights back, if you are around a BB gun, a pellet gun, a firearm, and you are knowingly around it and in possession of it, whether it is a old firearm that no longer needs where it's considered a firearm is they would still go to jail. Um and with these antique firearms, um anyone can buy them. Um that is true. A felon though, but these firearms cost thousands of dollars. They are expensive if you are getting, unless you're getting like an insanely good deal. These are expensive handguns, rifles. They're not cheap. Exactly. It's definitely in. Hey, you went to the range today. How was it? Range days are good. I got to take my sister to the range. It's pretty fun. Hell yeah. How do you like that 300 ARP? You have a 600-yard range. This was up. Yeah, I've heard decent things about it. Yeah, so I got a question for you since you're here in Memphis. What range do you go to? And have you had good or bad experiences at the Mr. Suit? And Reed, if you're in Memphis, you know you too. Garrett Reed. I, I don't know if that's your government name, but that name is very familiar. Top Gun. Yeah, I have a lot of free range time at Top Gun, but I don't like the fact that if I want to shoot certain things, I have to brace it. But I can't complain because I got the free range time. Yeah, I've had issues, but they've been treating me really nice lately. What's going on, my guy? How you doing? Yes, Sue. I have a question for you. So you're someone who goes to the indoor ranges out here. If there was an outdoor range, let's say it was a bit more expensive for your time, let's say you get more time, more than an hour, but you could do anything from distance shooting, drills, whatever you would want. Would you pay the extra price and you'd be able to shoot whatever you want, bring whatever ammo you want? Most definitely. But a range day costing me a paper target, that's not bad. That's funny, Mr. Cooper. Yeah, and I looked into it legally. If you are a class three shooter as of now, um, legally you're allowed to shoot that at a range. It's just the rules. The way to allow it. Um, let's say you're a class three shooter. Let's say I live in an indoor range or an outdoor range, excuse me. Um, I have all these amenities where you can do different things, shoot whatever you want. And let's say one of the things you want to do is let's say you have a class three license and you want to shoot something full auto. You have to have proof of paperwork legally and all that fun stuff, and it'd be a waiver, of course, and there's waivers for everything. That's what's up, man. But I don't like the options we have here. Like, if you don't know someone with land or own land yourself, your options are an indoor range that's extremely strict, or uh, you can go spend like $5,000 to $6,000 yearly at the Lakeland place, or you can drive like an hour and a half away to go to the Mississippi Club. That costs still a little bit of money, and plus you got to think about the time you're driving, all the gas you're spending there driving there and back. I feel like it would be pretty fun too if we had an outdoor range like that. Yeah, they are. So, what would be a comfortable? Let's say if I wanted an open range, what would you personally feel comfortable with? Um, let's say getting a booth where you and your buddies can come and shoot. Run drills, whatever y'all want. I need to come hang out with y'all then. I'd rather drive to Somerville once a week than go to an indoor range. I know some people that they're just really far out. So like I'm pretty sure Top Gun's what like $20, $22 an hour after tax. Then for two people it's like 30 something, $38. And all they offer is lane shooting. And let's say if I allowed drawing from holster shooting, at my outdoor range, if I open one, if someone uh, shoots herself in the foot, the waiver says it's on them. most definitely. We definitely got a lot of spots out here near Memphis that's very instead of taking like I said, an hour drive, you can take it like a 15-20 minute drive, and that'd be that. Hey, man, take your time. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate all y'all being here for real. Y'all will give me 1 second. I need to go check on something, and I'll be right back. Gotta make sure my responsibilities is okay. All right, I'm back. But yeah, I do appreciate y'all being here for this long late night stream for real. What the actual hell's going on here? We've talked about so much during this live stream. 'That's a very good input. Yeah, I feel like Militant area would do well. Yeah, even if let's say you're going from South Memphis to Millington, like a like a 30-minute drive, maybe. Even at that, say spending 50, $60 an hour, um, with everything that's available to you, I feel like a lot of people would switch over. And there is a lot of open land, and it would definitely help with the noise ordinance thing. 1612. I was gonna say hypothetically, I can get anywhere in Memphis in 15 minutes, or in surrounding Memphis. Hypothetically, I've went from Cordova to Jackson, Tennessee. Hypothetically, it's a hypothetical situation. Um, in like 35 minutes, hypothetically. Memphis, people drive fast in Memphis. Clapped out. Optimus. Yeah, that road's definitely fun. Hypothetically, I raced a cop down there before. Yeah, yeah, I've never done any of that stuff, but like hypothetically, speaking, I did race a cop in a hypothetical way, sort of sense, sort of speak. Like hypothetically, I was leaving work at like 3 a.m. Hypothetically, I wasn't finna sit there at those lights. So hypothetically, I went through them. So there was a hypothetical police car in behind my hypothetical car at this hypothetical moment in time. And all I saw was headlights getting on my ass while I'm hypothetically getting on the hypothetical E-way. And I'm like getting up to like 140. And I slowed down. I'm ready for whatever's gonna happen. It's a fucking MPD cop car, hypothetically. Yeah, I just started laughing. Like I was like, come on now. Yeah, suit. I believe you. Hypothetically speaking. Yeah, they don't pull people over though. If they pull you over, you should be scared. I would be scared. I don't trust them folks. Yeah, it might have been a dream. Dreams, are crazy. You can't control dreams unless you're doing lucid dreaming. Then you could do whatever you want. You could race all kinds of cops in your lucid dream. Yeah, most definitely. I would like to see full auto be more available. I personally want a full auto, and it is what it is. You like, yeah, bro, go see what they wanted back there. That's your job. I was gonna say 90, more than 90% um of people at night are not gonna sit there at them lights. I don't care who you are, where you live, where you been from. You don't sit there at them lights. Somebody's shooting right now. I'm jealous. They let off one round. Yeah, I hear you on that. When I was young, I got pulled over and I had just bought a car. And the cop accused me of being like a coke dealer. Y'all should have seen my face when he said that shit. It was just a new Nissan Altima. I was like 18, had just turned 18. I was like, sir, don't offend me because you can't afford this. I said, that's sad. Most definitely. Hypothetically, no. Tell you what, that bump fire of the MPA 30T at night, that shit echoes. Yeah, they just don't fuck with me. I don't want like no bad karma because I said that. Yeah, but I've been chilling and I feel blessed. Exactly. Another thing I feel like, to be safe while you're driving is like if you are speeding and there's a cop going faster than you, and like they just doing it because your car is like loud or something, just record them. Just play okay. Just like slow down, get behind them, and record them, and them folks drive off fast. Hey man, I need to get some subs. I have some, there's not installed. My car's loud as shit. Yes, sir. Gotta have that radar. I went by these one cops, hypothetically, and they were on the side with their guns. And I had my, they didn't hit me or tag me, I guess, and it never went off. And they had pointed it up like they were finna get me, I guess, because I was not hypothetically doing the speed limit. And so I had slowed down before they had, were able to do it. And when I came back, I had rolled down the windows and I pointed that at them because it was going off before I had got over there. Kind of stuff like I think I just right now I just got some tens, but I think it was like the Memphis Audio, the old ones, and I had an 18 in my 350, but that shit got stolen. Sounds like Oakland behavior. Nah, they was doing that in Cordova, most definitely. Yeah, I want to get a Tahoe with two ATs in a dirty Dover. Yeah, they was doing it in a dirty Dover, over on near Dexter by that school. I forgot what school's over there. And it's like the folks you really looking for, they're not stopping, especially with you standing on the sidewalk, not in your car. That shit's through. Yeah, it's a, let's say Macon over there is like Sheriff Central. This is another hypothetical situation because hypothetically, everything I say is hypothetical. I guess, but I was hypothetically getting my vape juice, and hypothetically the store was the dude was taking a hypothetical shit, I guess, and hypothetically one of the I think it was at a Bartlett store, one of the PD BPD um lieutenants or whatever the high ranking officers is, hypothetically I started talking to him and I was like, so what are you here buying? I was like, I'm getting, vape juice, but you like, why are you here? He gets these little hypothetical mushroom bars. Yeah, hypothetically, I said, dude, don't fucking tell anyone that. hypothetically told the smoke shop dude he better not pull me over. I was like, well, you better not pull me over. Oh, God. Y'all know the what's that big lady that does like the trailer park stuff with the police? Police scared of her. That dude pulled me over. He couldn't come up to my car. I was like, why'd you do this? You should have known when 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 you told me about hypothetical habits. You shouldn't be doing that. Like, just go back. Let's go ahead, turn off the lights. Go on about your day. What? I did not know that. Oh my God, Sue. Thank you for telling me that. That's fucking hilarious. What's going on, Graham? How you doing? Wow, he was getting a tattoo. He got it. Wait, he got whooped while getting a tattoo, or did that while getting a tattoo? Look it up. I'll look it up right now. I'm allowed to report the news on. There's a mosquito on my phone. It's trying to bite y'all. Don't worry, I got it. I'm glad it went towards the phone and not me. Oh God, let me look this up. Okay, I found a Reddit thread on it. Yeah, man, that's why I had to get it off the phone. It really would have got y'all. Oh no, this is the Barley Cop, his mugshot. Let's go to the Fox 13 News. Okay, I found it. Oh my God, they got video footage of it. Oh Lord. Oh. Fox 13 News. Why did they post that? Oh my God. I didn't see the whooping part of the video. I saw what led to the whooping. That is horrible. That's clear as day. That man is guilty. In the Reddit comments, the video is disturbing, but the ending is beautiful. The instant you leave the house, you are being recorded, especially in private businesses. You think a cop of all people would know this? Damn it, he's been the resource officer at my kid's school for a few years in Bartlett. Oh my God. Another comment says he has most certainly done it to others to be that comfortable. Oh my God. I think this is one of the top comments. Tattoo artist did this perfect. Dr. Cop had him arrested, released the video as evidence. I'm gonna get a tattoo from this hero. Memphis is definitely on Hinge. Oh my God, I don't think I can say this one. This, the tattoo artist gave Fox 13 surveillance showing the incident. Oh my God. This, this is hilarious. W tattoo artist. He'll have to get that tat finished up by a fellow inmate. So the top comment is the this video is disturbing but then beautiful. Um, the top comment on that comment said he's going to be very popular in jail with his fee for funneling. Oh my God. His court date is the 27th. He better not get released. Let's just keep giving him a new court date for the next 50 years. He'll enjoy his time in there. CZ Scorpion. Uh, it's not my thing. I like the older Scorpions, like the VZ61. Yeah, Bartlett. I guess Bartlett's kind of known for that now, huh? They 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 do that weird stuff. Anything for a chicken biscuit. Most definitely guilty. Yeah, it is supposed to. Germation. It's a clone, kind of. Yeah, it's made by Intratech though. He said for a chicken biscuit. Yeah, yeah, Germation. I did a little overview video on it. If you want to check that out later. You got 3 plus. That's what's up. Yeah, man. There's definitely some crazy stuff happening all around Memphis. He could have gone anywhere else, or maybe he got thrown out of everywhere else. Yeah, that police officer one was crazy for sure. Yeah, at least we're not the worst as of right now. The most dangerous. We went down on that list. Actually, let me check. In 2025, Memphis, Tennessee is generally considered the most dangerous city in America based on crime rates, particularly violent crimes. A recent U.S. News World article ranking city Memphis as the most dangerous city overall with a score of 5.8. Other cities often appealing on this list most dangerous include St. Louis, Missouri, Detroit, Michigan, and Little Rock. It most definitely did help. Oh, it is a fake suppressor. It's a barrel extension. It's a safety device. It does not suppress the sound or muffle the sound of the bullet. I want to see where we rank in the world right now. We are ranked number ninth in the world. Most definitely. A man can't have shit. Most This is a different list, and I do not see Memphis on it. No, we are number 9. Yeah. Yes, we have Le Bonheur, St. Jude. We are a international shipping port. There's a lot of good things in Memphis. A lot of history. And there's a lot of fun things to do. But Memphis is Memphis. Yes, sir. Suit. People here see crazy stuff. Most definitely. I just don't like that people in Memphis publicly call themselves Memphians. I was actually at the Freedom Awards. Yeah, we do have. Do you know the story behind why we have the Bass Pro Pyramid? Don't like what? I didn't say I didn't like anything. I said I was actually at the Freedom Awards that they hosted here in Memphis recently. Yeah, there's a story behind it. So apparently, the owner of all Bass Pros, or I guess the Bass Pro here, whatever, and the owner of the Pink Palace, the previous owner of the Pyramid, that I heard they were on a fishing trip and they were on the Mississippi catfishing, and I think it was a crazy catfish weight, like maybe like 167-pound catfish, something crazy like that. And they had a bet if he could catch one that night, he could turn the bass or the pyramid into the Bass Pro. I don't know, like the first time I heard it, I was at a birthing class, and this really preppy white dude said it, and it made it seem weird. So really, no, it just seems off to me. Yeah, let me look up. Let me look it up to see if I'm right. You know, stories are stories, but let me fact check this story for you. Oh, so Bass Pro Shop CEO John Morris famously made the deal on a fishing trip near the pyramid to build a store inside if someone caught a 30-pound catfish. It was just 30 pounds. My bad. I thought it was something a lot crazier. Um, his friend Jack Emmett caught a 34-pound blue catfish, fulfilling the wager leading to the creation of the Bass Pro Shop pyramid. So yeah, it's more it's more than a story. Yeah. Yeah, I hear a lot of people, a lot of people say I'm from Memphis. I'm from Memphis. You feel me? We from Memphis. Yeah, 30 is still impressive, but a fishing trip is why we have the Bass Pro Pyramid. It's put up. Got to put up right now. You heard? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Matt. How you doing? I wish I had a range inside my house. Gotta keep that shit tame. Yeah, it's like that sometimes. I appreciate the likes on the live stream for real. I mean, if you had like an indoor personal range, that'd be awesome. It's too rich for you. Hey, I personally can't afford that. Can't. Oh, that's racist. Why you gotta be black? I think I think it's pretty nice, Matt. I especially like that new rifle they came out with. I can't remember the name of it offhand, but it looked really nice. Sure. Oh, it's black. Hey, yeah, yeah, most definitely. Like, why does this house in Cordova cost $2 million? That's a private range. Most definitely. So yeah, you're never gonna see that one. Are you active service? Yeah, 10 acres you can legally shoot city limits if you have 10 or more acres. Country woodhouse, $15. Yeah, imagine. Did you hear about that? The little those people that lived in Berry Hill that was stealing McLarens and shit. Yeah, that's what I would like is 10 or 20. It depends on what kind of land you get. Let's say you have 20 acres. Let's say 11 of it, or not even, let's say 16 of it is wooded. There's not really much upkeep with that. Um, then the rest is, let's say, there's grass. You would have to keep the your areas that you want down, but you'd be chilling. You call him the newsman. When I start a new job one day, I'm ready to start it. Hopefully, they're good people. They seem like decent people, but you never know, man. I heard you. Y'all, it's getting pretty late. I have a lot of video editing to do. It sounds like a storm is gonna come in or some rain. So gonna call it a night. I appreciate all y'all being here for real. Whether you're just in the background chilling or, you know, talking in the chat, I appreciate y'all for real. 30 likes on the live stream is crazy. Pretty sure that's the most amount of likes I've had on a single stream. Yeah, that definitely would be a lot of upkeep though. Only three of it being wooded. So you can definitely clear out what you want for a range, but that's definitely sounds like a lot of upkeep. Yeah, man. I can hear it coming in. Some lightning. Looked like it went off earlier a minute ago. And I got a bunch of stuff out here, like these lights and stuff, so I need to get that put up. But I will try to get the range day video out as well as the review on the P64 as soon as I can. I do have a busy day tomorrow, but I will get as much editing done tomorrow as I can. Oh, all but three to be wooded, yeah. Yes, sir. You stay safe out there too. These folks are crazy. Yeah, usually while I pack up the bag, I just chill on here for a minute. Oh, always, man. Appreciate y'all. If y'all do or do not check out the videos, I just post them because I want to. Man, I love this MPA though. Yeah, that storm's right around the corner. That line is going off. But yeah, I do appreciate y'all for real. And if y'all want to, y'all can check out any of my content. I've posted a lot of long format content here recently. I posted a lot of shorts. I posted a few new ones. I posted some clips of the range day. So if y'all want to check those out, you're more than welcome to. I also have a Discord. There should be a link on my community uh, page on my YouTube channel. If y'all want to join that, I do try to. I am trying to be active in there and post before I go. I don't really post before I go live, like on the Discord, but I try to post videos, links to videos when I go live. I do it's like an everyday carry photo section if y'all want to be a part of that, and stuff of that nature. So y'all feel free to join that if you want. And I really do appreciate all y'all being here for real. I try to do nightly live streams as much as I can if the weather permits it. Y'all know how it is. But I really do appreciate all y'all being here tonight. I hope y'all have a blessed day tomorrow. Stay safe. Y'all take it easy. I'm gonna see you on the next one.